Good day, colleagues from provincial education departments, education districts, circuit management centers, circuits, but specifically our teachers in the classrooms, as well as our social partners, the unions. This mediation presentation is intended for you. Today we are going to deal with the recovery annual teaching plans for GET languages, intermediate phase as well as senior phase, home languages as well as first additional language. Let's quickly go to our slides. The presentation outline, first of all, we are going to look at the rationale and the purpose why we embarked on this process. Secondly, we will look at the amendments to the revised annual teaching plans of 2021 to 2023. After that, we will look at the amendments to the school-based assessments as well as the learner-teacher support material that is essential to deliver these annual teaching plans in grades 4 to 9 in the languages classroom, after which we shall conclude this presentation. I wish to remind you that from 2021 to 2024, as the Department of Basic Education, we regard ourselves as being in a recovery period. And during this recovery period, all schools are required to implement the recovery annual teaching plans that we put in the system at the beginning of this academic year 2023. The recovery ATP's review was done by teams from provinces during 2022 for 2023 to 2024. It should be noted that in the intermediate phase, the assessment regime of 2022 was retained in terms of the weightings, namely school-based assessment with a weighting of 80% and control tests with a weighting of 20%. That is applicable for grades 4 to 6. In the case of the senior phase, however, the assessment regime has changed and the new ratio for the senior phase is now 60% for school-based assessment and 40% for exams. The main changes are related to exams and control tests, and then lastly, also in this recovery period, there will be a big focus on the infusion of assessment for learning into teaching and learning in the languages classroom. After the recovery period, we will embark on a process where we shall be developing what we label as strengthened curriculum or modernized curriculum, which will kick in from 2025 and beyond. And with this modernized curriculum that is being envisaged, the focus will be on 21st century skills. There will also be a focus on competencies such as problem solving, teamwork, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and the list goes on and on. With the strengthened curriculum, we will also look for more opportunities to reduce the content even further, because there has been a passionate plea from our colleagues in classrooms to cut the content, because there is a popular opinion out there that there is a content overload. The focus of the strengthened curriculum that we envisage from 2025 and beyond, there will also be a focus on formative assessment as opposed to the summative assessment that was so prominent in the years gone by, and also a focus on deeper learning as well as performance-based assessment. The whole notion of performance-based assessment, however, will be further unpacked in the guidelines that we are currently developing for teaching and assessing oral, reading, writing, literature, as well as language structures and conventions. It is envisaged that those guideline documents will be put in the system by the beginning, possibly, of the academic year 2024. Lastly, with the strengthened curriculum, the focus will also be on vocational and occupational education. It should be noted that over and above their academic ability, our learners have talents, gifts, inclinations, aptitudes, skills, and competencies other than academic skills. Let's just go to the next slide. So the purpose then why we embarked on this process of revising these ATPs was in order to streamline and align the content, also to ensure progression not only between terms, from term to term, but also from grade to grade and from phase to phase. We are colleagues acutely aware of the fact that many people are of the opinion that there are gaps in CAPS, and the purpose was also to identify these gaps and to plug these gaps and to look for further opportunities to trim the curriculum, and of course, lastly, to ensure assessment for learning with a more prominent focus on informal assessment, and to quality assure further the revised ATPs that we put in the system. Colleagues, let's take a break. I'll see you after the break.